Hello and welcome to STEM with Mr. N, where I perform different demonstrations and explain the science behind what we're seeing. This week I'm going to look at the science of earthquakes. Let's check it out. Over the past few weeks, I've explored the science of volcanoes and the science of tsunamis. I've put links in the description so you can check out these videos. Today, I'm going to look at a third natural disaster which is connected to the other two as I explore earthquakes. The Earth is made up of multiple layers, and the crust of the Earth is made up of 7 major tectonic plates and over 100 minor tectonic plates. The first demonstration this week is going to show how the movement of these plates causes earthquakes. For this, you will need 2 bits of cardboard the same size, an aluminium tray, something sharp like a sharp pencil, a couple of bits of string, and some sand, dirt, gravel, something that you can put on top of the cardboard to represent the ground. First, I'm going to use my sharp pencil to put 2 holes in one end of a bit of cardboard and then use a bit of string tied to each of these holes to form a handle. I'm then going to do the same to my other piece of cardboard. Now that I've got 2 pieces of cardboard with handles, I'm going to make sure the handles are at opposite ends from each other and tape my 2 bits of cardboard together underneath. I'm then going to sit my 2 bits of cardboard on top of my aluminium tray and pour on some sand and gravel to represent the ground up above the tectonic plates. I'm using the aluminium tray to catch any of the sand and gravel so that I don't make a mess of the room. Now that it's set up, it's time to explore how the movement of tectonic plates can cause an earthquake. Because tectonic plates sit on top of the liquid mantle layer, they move around. Sometimes 2 plates will come together and get stuck, and that is why I have taped these 2 bits of cardboard together. I'm now going to pull on the 2 bits of string. This represents the 2 plates trying to move past each other but are stuck in place. You'll notice that when I've pulled the 2 bits of string to get my tectonic plates moving again, as they suddenly moved, they split the ground up above and spilled it down into the aluminium tray. This is like when an earthquake causes cracks in the ground. It is this sudden movement of the plates that causes the earthquake to happen. Earthquakes travel in waves, and there are 2 main types of waves. There are P waves for primary waves and S waves for secondary waves. The next demonstration is going to show you the effects of primary waves. For the P wave demonstration, you will again need a sharp pencil, some string, a box with the end cut off it, and some paper clips. As a secondary part of this experiment, I also have a tub for some water, and I'm going to put some blue food colouring in it just to make sure what is happening with the water is clear. To begin with, we're going to set up our box. First, you want to punch a hole in the top of the box and the bottom of the box at the open end. Next, you're going to tie one end of a piece of string onto a paper clip and then feed the string through the top hole in your box and bring it back out through the bottom hole. Once the string is out through the bottom hole, you're going to tie it onto another paper clip and trim off any excess string that you have. Stand your box upright so that the bit of string is standing vertically up through the middle of the opening, and then clip on another few paper clips along the length of this piece of string. Primary waves travel through solids, liquids and gases. In this demonstration, we are going to see all 3. For solids, I've got the box with the string and the paper clips. For liquids, I've got the water with the blue food colouring. And for gases, we're just going to be listening for the sound of the impact that is creating the primary waves. To perform this demonstration, I'm going to move my materials onto another table, and to replicate an earthquake, I'm going to slam my hand down hard onto the table to create these primary waves. In that demonstration, you should have heard the primary waves travelling through a gas as my hand struck the table. You should have seen them passing through a solid as the paper clips were vibrating up the length of the string. And you should also have seen them passing through a liquid as we saw the ripples moving through the water. Primary waves come at the start of an earthquake, but they are not the most damaging part. That is the secondary waves, and that is what we're going to look at next. Secondary waves travel slower than primary waves, and that is why they arrive later. Unlike primary waves, secondary waves only travel through solids. It is these S waves that make the ground move and shift and cause buildings to crack, crumble and fall over. To demonstrate the effects of S waves, I have made a simple shake table using 2 whiteboards, 2 rubber bands and 4 marbles. I'm going to look at how different structures hold up against my shake table. To start with, I've got 4 wooden blocks which I'm just going to put on top of my shake table as a tower. I'm then going to pin the bottom whiteboard to the counter and pull back the top one against the elastic bands until I can see the black line. This is how I know that I am putting the same strength into every shake so that it is a fair test for each structure. I'm then going to quickly let go of both boards and watch what happens to the wooden tower. So the tower of wooden blocks just completely collapsed. All the blocks fell away from each other and some even fell off the shake table. So next I'm going to try a slightly sturdier structure by using blocks of Duplo put together in a tower which comes to the same height as the wooden cubes. I'm going to put this in the middle of the shake table, again pull back until I see the black line and watch what happens. So that time my tower still fell over, but at least it did not come apart like the wooden blocks did. So I've established that clipping the blocks together is better than having them loose. But I wonder if there's something that I can do that would allow my tower to not fall over and still stay in one piece. I'm going to try with a wider tower this time, still using Duplo because clipping together is better, but this time the tower is made up in blocks of 4 rather than single blocks. I'm now going to put that in the middle of my shake table, pull back until I see the black line and watch what happens. This time my tower wobbled but did not fall apart and did not fall over. So a wider, sturdier structure is better for surviving an earthquake on my shake table. You can also try making a structure out of less conventional materials, like I am here using cocktail sticks and mini marshmallows, and then testing this structure on your shake table to see how well it would stand up against an earthquake. In earthquake-prone areas, architects and engineers need to design and build structures which can withstand the impacts of an earthquake. Earthquakes are measured on the moment magnitude scale, which used to be called the Richter scale. Up until about a level 3, people won't really notice an earthquake. At level 4, most people will be able to feel the tremors, and the scale keeps rising up to level 8, where buildings crack, crumble and fall down, and level 9, where earthquakes can wipe out entire towns and cities. There is no way to predict when an earthquake is going to happen, although scientists do have a good idea of where the tectonic plates are and come together. So they can predict where earthquakes are likely to take place, but not when and not how bad these earthquakes are going to be. Well, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I would like to take this opportunity to answer any science questions you have about any science topics at all. So feel free to email me at stemwithmrn@outlook.com and I'll get back to you with answers to your questions. You can subscribe to the channel by pushing the button here, and I've added links here to the other STEM demonstrations I've done so far, and here to my 2 weekly robot review videos. This has been STEM with Mr. N, exploring earthquakes.